Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cottage. I'm Joey, the Veiled Cottage Witch, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading for the collective. And I'm super excited about this. I am a Capricorn, and one of my best friends, Allie, is a Capricorn, and we are just very Capricorny. So we're looking forward to this full moon on Monday. So it does fall on 6/29/2026. And so I want to talk about the numerology. So I'm going to put that up here. First thing, let's get that out of the way because that is super important. So we have 6/29/2026 that adds up to 27, which is 9, which is the Hermit. And I always think about her with the Hermit because she is very hermity. I can be as well. We are just not social people. It's not like we hate people. It's just crowds, I guess. For me, at least, I'm not a crowd person. I just have crowd anxiety a lot. But besides that, the Hermit loves solitude. And for me growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends. So I entertained myself quite a bit growing up. I was awkward. I was strange. I was weird. And so I relate to the Hermit. But not just the solitude of the Hermit, but the Hermit is very introspective. It deals with meditation, guidance, service, self-development, and it corresponds with the planet of Virgo, which looks at the minutia of daily life and gains perspective from it. So I love that about the Hermit. So this is the numerology for Monday, is the Hermit. So let's look at what tarot card represents the Capricorn. Well, it's obviously our goat friend, the devil. So when people get this card, they think the ultimate worst, and he gets such a bad rap. But the devil comes to you when, you're putting your attention and your focus on things that distract you. So desire, materialism, excess, envy, shame, all of those things, obsession, addiction, the shadow side. But he also represents that work ethic, that drive, that ambition as well. So even though, yes, it does represent that shadow side of things, it can also represent that stubborn drive, that stubborn determination, like, I'll do it, get out of my way, So we got to think about both sides, There are several sides to a tarot card. So I don't want you to automatically think, oh my God, this is the devil card. This is terrible. No, the devil card is not all bad, you guys. He just gets a bad rap. But there's good sides to the devil. That raw determination, man. When he wants something, he will get it, and don't stand in his way. I love that about the devil. So let's talk a little bit about Capricorn. So this is cardinal earth. These are leaders. All right. They have this fiery, practical, intense energy. And their determination to succeed can lead either to success or to learning lessons the hard way. You know, we will either succeed or we will make a mistake and then we will learn from it. You know, either way, we're winning on whatever side we land on. And I love that about Capricorns in general. So they're motivated to use whatever is at their hand in order to achieve their goals. If we don't have what we need, we will use what we have. And I love that about Capricorns. They're driven, but they're stubborn with their goal setting. It's like, if I write this goal down that I'm going to do this today, I will move hell and high water to get that done. That is Capricorn energy. So that's what we're dealing with this full moon. Okay. So the energy of this full moon all together, putting everything together, it's a cosmic mid-year reality check. Okay, it highlights the tension between your public ambitions and your private emotional well-being. Okay, it's a time for taking inventory of your long-term goals and restructuring your habits for stability. So you're taking a look at your daily, everyday stuff and seeing if that is in line with your goals. Okay. So you're being asked to find harmony also between nurturing your personal life and achieving your professional goals. And you're taking a look at that. You're taking inventory. And that's what the Hermit does. He evaluates and takes a really solid look at, okay, what am I doing? Does this align with my ambition? You know, am I doing everything I possibly can to make sure that I'm aligned with my goals? So this is a perfect time to determine if that is indeed in alignment. So full moons naturally bring culmination and closure. So in Capricorn, this energy acts as a harsh mid-year audit, okay? But that's necessary to see what professional projects or personal habits have run their course. Okay, what do you need to maybe stop doing that no longer is necessary for your goals? All right. So there's a strong call to avoid impulsive, emotionally driven decisions. So grounding yourself in structure, logic, and patience. Okay, relying on cold, hard facts to keep yourself on track. Away from illusions, right? We don't want to get sucked into addictions and obsessions, stuff like that. I am so prone to obsession. It's not even funny, but we have to keep, like, is this healthy for me? We have to keep that goal in mind. Is this a healthy obsession or have I gone off the deep end? Right? So it's time to set firm lines between when you are at work and when you are resting at home. So a lot of people in jobs and careers where they are on call have a problem. Not a problem, but it's difficult for them to completely rest when they have to have their phone beside them because maybe they're going to get a call that they have to go back to work. It's very, very difficult to separate. You know, it's very difficult to separate. So we have to have those boundaries to where, okay, on these days and these days, I'm not on call. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be able to completely relax when you know that you might have to be called back to work. So that is very difficult for a Capricorn. Very difficult for a Capricorn. They're so damn driven. They are so driven that it is really hard to separate that from a Capricorn. So that's the energy that we're dealing with now. So for the reading, I'm going to be using the Tarot Nuage. I love this deck so much, and I rarely use it for readings, but I'm going to use it today. And then the Gaia Oracle, which I absolutely love, and any excuse to use an earthy oracle deck, I will take it. So we're going to find out in this reading, what is the energy of this full moon, what we have accomplished that we should be proud of, what area of our life we need more attention and focus, where we can have a happy balance between work and play, since that is the big theme this time around, and what steps we should take towards long-term goals. And then we'll pull an oracle card for a message from spirit. So I'm going to set up my space, shuffle my cards, and I'll be right back. All right. Okay, guys, one more time. And let's go ahead and draw. I think I can fit everything on here. So let's do it. I really enjoy doing these full moons and new moons with you guys. I hope you enjoy it too. All right. So not reading reversals anymore. That's something new for me because I'm taking both sides into account. And it's just much easier that way. So let's move this slightly out of the way for now so you guys can see those cards. Such an awesome earthy deck. Love it. All right. Card one, we have the High Priestess. And I love when she shows up because it is such a lunar card. For her to show up in a full moon reading, it's almost like she blesses the reading. So what is the energy of this full moon? Well, it's very feminine, it's very intuitive, and it's very empathic. All right. It's a call to listen to your subconscious right now. Listen to what your higher self is telling you, what that third eye is connected to. You know, honor that inner goddess within you, and she will guide you. You know, that is where the wisdom lies. That is where we can be guided if we, you know, shut down that analytical, rational side of ourselves and just open up. That is the energy of this full moon. We've just got to be open to that energy. Got to shut down all of that noise inside, that practicality. And that's going to be tough because this Capricorn moon is very masculine. So the energy here is to search out that intuitive side, to search out that subconscious, you know, and that's finding that hermit, finding that hermit, that ability, sorry, words are hard, that ability to look inside yourself and to find that wisdom within. So that's the energy of our full moon here. Now, the other side of that is to not get so drawn into that energy that we get so drawn in that we forget that we're also living on this human plane. We don't want to get so stuck in that solitude, so stuck in that subconscious that we forget to come back to our real life. We live in the reality, right? We live in the human world. So this is just a little warning not to get so stuck inside that subconscious, that empathic, to where we don't protect ourselves, right, in that realm. Because inside that realm, there's other things. So as we wander into that subconscious realm, protect yourself, because there are other things in that realm that dwell there. So keep that in mind as well. All right. So we have the 7 of coins here. What have you accomplished that you should be proud of? Well, you have been so patient. You have been so patient getting to this point. We have had such a crazy year. The moons have been, the energy has been all over the place. We've survived so much already this year. You've achieved so much already. Give yourself some damn credit. My God, look what you've accomplished so far. Show yourself some gratitude for what you've achieved. The victories are not small victories. All right. Be grateful to the universe and to yourself, most of all, for what you have already achieved. And then look forward to your next goals. But don't forget to first pause and say, look, I've done all of this. So the next half of the year, easy. Because we've survived some crazy energy so far this year. So pat yourself on the back. Take some time to do that. And remember, goals are not meant to be reached in a moment. If they were, they wouldn't be so important to you, right? I mean, you don't set goals out that are easy. They're meant to take time. So have patience with yourself and have patience with the universe, right? Okay. So what area, the third one, what area of your life needs more attention and focus? And we have the Death card. And I love this card because this is the only card I've ever seen where death is actually just sitting down. Just sitting pretty. Like, I'm in no hurry. You take your time. I love that about this card. You need more attention and focus to the things that are no longer serving their purpose in your life. And we talked about this when we talked about the energy, right? Doing that mid-year audit, those habits that don't serve your goals, right? So you need to really take a look at what is no longer serving you, what is no longer serving your goals, and cut them out. No, Not doing that anymore. These could be, again, like we talked about earlier, obsessions, addictions, habits that are no longer good for you. It's time to say, okay, yeah, that's no longer good for me. It can't be good for my goals, right? So focus your spell work, focus your workings, focus your energy, focus your manifestations on getting rid of the things that don't align with your goals. That's what your focus and attention should be on. Absolutely. 100% agree. And for obviously, I'm including myself always. Always including myself with this. So, fourth one, how can we find a happy balance between work and play? This is the King of Coins, and I love that Bobby calls this, Bobby Fierro over at Wild Raven Tarot, shout out. He calls this a sugar daddy card. I don't know about that, but the balance between work and play is to find that minimal effort space, that space where you can have that paycheck and also have that relaxation, and it's easier said than done. But this card always makes me think of, like enjoying the weekends, enjoying your days off and making them sacred. All right, like this is a picture of him on the weekend. This is what the king does when he's not at work. He's sitting down, enjoying he's counting his money. He's enjoying his luxury. And what is the point? What is the point of making all that money if you can't enjoy it? Make time to enjoy that money. Make time to enjoy that money. That is how you can find that balance. Enjoy it with your family, enjoy it with your friends, going to concerts or taking your kids to places that they would love, and just taking your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever out to dinner and just enjoy those days off. That is the sweet spot. That is where you can sit pretty. That's the goal. That's the goal. I love this reading so far. And then what steps should you take towards long-term goals? Four of Wands, finding that stability, finding that balance. I always think of fours as 4 legs to a table, 4 legs to a chair. Finding that perfect balance of everyone doing their part. If you can find that delicate balance between everybody doing their part, then you can enjoy all these things that you want to do. But everybody has to give a little bit, no slackers, the family unit or whatever, you have going on at home, even if it's just you and your spouse or whatever you have, finding that balance between everybody doing their part and everybody having a cog that they're pitching in, like the inner workings of a clock. That's how you find that stability, that balance. And that's how you achieve that long-term goal, having everybody help you out. It can't be all done alone. It takes a village. It takes a family working together in order to achieve it. And that is what the Four of Wands is all about. So, finally, our message from Spirit is the Enchanted Forest, and it's mystery, magic, and excitement. And I love that the full moon is here in this card, and I love that it's the tree branches. This is, grounding everything that you're working on with the full moon. And that is the High Priestess, grounding yourself in along with that subconscious, that pull of the moon, and feeling that power, but also finding that stability. And I want to draw your attention to the number up here is 27, which is also the Hermit's number, which is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. The universe is talking to us, you guys. And this is what it's saying. Finding that perfect amount of time to yourself to ground in that lesson, but also finding the mystery. I love that so much. So I'm going to do a quick recap. The energy of this full moon is to connect with your subconscious, with that intuition, with the goddess, finding that sweet spot within the light of the full moon and finding that mystery and connecting with that and putting that rational side of yourself aside to connect with the full moon, but also remembering that you're in the real world and to protect yourself while also connecting. And what you should be proud of is all your accomplishments that you've accomplished so far by, showing gratitude to yourself for accomplishing that and gratitude to the universe for working with you. What area of your life needs more attention and focus? The Death card, getting those things that no longer serve you out of your life, out of the way, so you can focus on your goals and things that are aligned with your goals. How can you find a happy balance between work and play? Making those days off, with the family, with your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, husband, wife, whatever you call, whatever. But spending those days off, enjoying your paycheck, right? And what steps should I take towards long-term goals? Finding the delicate balance and having everyone work together to create that stability, that group effort. And then your message from Spirit, the number 27, the Hermit, connecting with that lunar energy, that High Priestess, but also being grounded in your goals. So that is your full moon reading in Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more readings like this. Hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming readings. Please visit my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com, where you can book a personal reading with me, an energy work session, a class, a workshop. I have all kinds on there. A lot of them are in person, but you can message me. A lot of them can be done online. So please message me if you're interested in that. You can shop my online store where I have holistic healing items, skincare, and ritual and spell aids. But do at checkout, enter the code word, all caps veiled, to get free shipping. And it is much easier on the app. So go ahead and download the app It's free and so much easier. So don't forget to do that. If you'd like to financially support this channel, you can do so. There's several ways down in the description box, or you can just scan this QR code here. Appreciated, but not necessary. Just live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.